In the desolate stretches of the Australian outback, where silence screams and shadows linger, lies a chilling tapestry of ghost towns, each whispering tales of lost souls and forgotten dreams. Join us as we unveil the top 15 haunted ghost towns in Australia, places where history haunts the living, and every corner might hold a lingering spirit waiting to be discovered. One, Wittenoom, Western Australia. In the remote vastness of Western Australia lies Wittenoom, a desolate ghost town shrouded in a haunting silence, where time seems to wither and shadows dance softly amidst the crumbling remnants of its past. Once a thriving asbestos mining hub, it became a landscape of sorrow, where the vibrant chatter of miners and their families faded, replaced by a sinister whisper that carried the weight of countless tragedies. Locals recount chilling tales of disappearing residents and the lingering cries of those afflicted by asbestosis, a grim legacy left in the wake of greed and industrial negligence. The very air that once filled the town with hope now seems to choke those who venture near, as if the land itself is warning them of the horrors inscribed in its soil and the darkness etched into its history. The dire consequences of mining asbestos brought illness, despair, and death, leaving Wittenoom shrouded in a fog of tragedy. Between the years 1943 and 1966, the mines thrived, but the danger of asbestos exposure was all but ignored. An estimated 0 residents succumbed to the debilitating disease that resulted from the deadly fibers permeating their lungs. Reports emerged of spectral sightings, panicked miners roaming the ghostly remnants of the mine site, their faces twisted in agony, eternally seeking relief from their unbearable suffering. Some claim to have felt a cold rush that accompanies the sightings, an unseen force pulling at their senses, urging them to flee from the cursed land. Yet, Wittenoom's horror doesn't end with its ghosts. For those drawn by curiosity or the thrill of discovery, the town stands as a foreboding warning. The federal government has declared it a dangerous area, advising visitors to heed the toxic legacy that lingers in the dust. Signs pepper the perimeter, a desperate plea against temptation, cautioning about the deadly risks that far outweigh any fleeting exploration. To tread upon Wittenoom is to confront not just history, but the very essence of human folly and despair, an undeniable reminder that some places are best left undisturbed, wrapped in layers of silence, until the end of time. 2. Silverton, New South Wales. In the heart of New South Wales lies Silverton, a town draped in an eerie silence that echoes tales of haunting despair. As the sun dips below the parched hills, shadows grow long, and the wind carries whispers of lost souls, roaming the dusty streets of this once thriving settlement. Founded in the 1880s during a silver rush, Silverton boasted a vibrant community until the veins of wealth ran dry. Today, the skeletal remains of its buildings stand as a grim reminder of nature's wrath and the human spirit's vulnerability. Locals speak in hushed tones of the spectral figures that wander the silent, crumbling structures, their eyes forever searching for what has been lost. Stories hint at the tragic fate of miners who perished in accidents, their restless spirits burdened with unfinished business and unfulfilled dreams. Among these tragedies is that of Eliza, a young woman who arrived in Silverton with her family, only to face the devastating loss of her husband in a mining explosion. Grief-stricken and isolated, she roamed the empty halls of the abandoned hotel, her anguished cries merging with the howling winds. Visitors to the site report an overwhelming sense of sorrow and an inexplicable chill that descends upon them as they tread where Eliza once mourned. Many claim to have seen her figure, dressed in white, standing by the hotel's shattered windows, gazing into the distance as if hoping for a return that will never come. In the paintings crammed with the melancholy of Silverton's history, one can almost catch a glimpse of her soul lingering between the worlds. Yet, Silverton's allure is not merely the allure of history, it brings with it a solemn warning. Those who dare to explore the ghostly remnants must tread lightly, for Eliza's sorrowful presence is but one thread in a tapestry of tragic echoes that weave through the town. Visitors are cautioned once you step into this realm of despair. Its shadows could cling to you, as they have clung to countless souls before. Three, Farina, South Australia. In the desolate heart of South Australia, where the harsh landscape stretches endlessly beneath an unforgiving sun, lies Farina, a ghost town steeped in eerie silence and haunted whispers. Once a bustling railway settlement in the 1880s, Farina now stands as a mere skeletal remnant of its former glory, encircled by cracked earth and the dry wind that carries tales far older than its abandoned streets. Locals often recount stories of apparitions roving through the remnants of the town, with hollow eyes that seem to call out from the ruins of the old bakery and fragmented cottages, lingering memories of those who once thrived here. The air thickens with the chill of loss and dread, as residents report flickering lights at impossible hours and the sensation of being watched. Even in daylight, tragedy begets tragedy, and Farina's history is no exception. In the late 1800s, a great flood washed through, devastating the community and leaving several families homeless, their lives forever altered in a single brutal night. Ghostly figures are said to wander the town, embodying the souls lost in that disaster, fervently trying to convey their plight to anyone who may heed their warnings. Witnesses have claimed to capture inexplicable spectral figures in photographs, while others report disembodied voices echoing through the night, lamenting the life they once knew. But beware those who dare to traverse its spectral paths, for the pain of the past lingers like a stubborn fog, ready to envelop the unwary. Stories of encounters with these restless spirits warn that they may seek to draw you into their depths of despair, where the cries of the past may leave an indelible mark on your own soul. Tread lightly, for in Farina, the dead might not be as easily estranged as you hope, haunting you long after you leave as though an uninvited shadow follows your every step. Four, Walhalla, Victoria. Nestled in the lush foothills of Victoria, Australia, lies the small town of Walhalla, a ghost town wrought with an unsettling history that chills the very marrow of those who wander its abandoned streets. Once a thriving gold mining hub in the 19th century, it is now a mere echo of its former glory, with whispers of spirits lingering amid the crumbling facades and silent mountains. Local tales contend that the remnants of the town's haunted past still roam the dense forests and turbulent waters of the nearby rivers, giving rise to a perpetual dread that grips the few who dare to stay after sunset. Legend has it that unmarked graves scatter the area, where hundreds of miners, driven by desperation, lost their lives in mining accidents and unresolved conflicts. The most notorious tragedy occurred in 1873 when a catastrophic flood swept through the town, taking with it precious lives and leaving a scar that time has struggled to heal. Witnesses have reported eerie occurrences, disembodied voices echoing through the narrow streets, shadows flitting behind rusted mining equipment, and ghostly lights flickering among the trees. Some claim to encounter the spirit of a miner, doomed to wander the hills, his mournful cries a testament to the tragedy he endured, while the hope of gold lured many. It is the lingering hauntings that ensnare the unsuspecting visitor in fear. With every step you take through Walhalla's hallowed ground, a place steeped in death and despair, one must heed the whispers of the long-forgotten souls that linger in the shadowed depths of history. Beware the darkened alleys and the flickering candlelight, for the spirits of Walhalla are not merely stories told to frighten. They are palpable manifestations of grief and loss, forever entwined with the very essence of this forsaken town. Venture here at your own peril, for those who seek to confront the past may find that some secrets are best left buried. Cook, South Australia. In the heart of South Australia lies Cook, a ghost town that once thrived as a railway hub, but now stands as a testament to abandonment and despair. Its silence punctuated only by the eerie whispers of the past. Established in 1917, the town served as a service stop along the Indian Pacific Railway, and its decline began in the 1990s when trains bypassed its rusted platforms. Local folklore speaks of an unsettling chill that envelops visitors, as if the very air is thick with the cries of its former inhabitants, who vanished without a trace, swallowed by the arid landscape that surrounds it. Rumors abound of spectral figures seen roaming the streets, their forlorn expressions etched into the ether of this forsaken place, hinting at the lives once lived here. Some claim that these apparitions belong to children who roamed the town before being taken, lost in the labyrinth of the surrounding bushland, their spirits forever tethered to the spot where their laughter once echoed. While much of Cook's haunting resonates from its skeletal structures, derelict houses, and rusting equipment, the most poignant tale involves a local tragedy. Legend has it that during the town's more prosperous days, a devastating fire consumed the local general store. The flames claimed several lives, leaving families shattered and tied to the tragic event, a grief that permeates the grounds. Those who visit report disembodied voices and an inexplicable sense of dread, especially near the remains of the store, which still stand frozen in time, charred and worn. Eyewitness accounts describe flickering lights at night and shadows darting across the town, manifestations of a sorrow that clings to the very bricks and mortar. For those who dare to traverse this desolate landscape, heed this warning. Cook is a place of unfathomable sorrow, a haunted relic where the living are not alone. In this stillness, it is said that you may encounter more than mere history. You may awaken the tormented souls, forever trapped in their tragic memories. Six, Mary Kathleen, Queensland. In the heart of the Australian bush lies Mary Kathleen, a ghost town steeped in whispers of despair, and the eerie specters of its past linger like shadows in the midday sun. Once a thriving mining community, this forgotten town echoes with the footsteps of its former inhabitants, whose dreams of prosperity were quashed by the relentless march of time and a whirlwind of tragedy. Locals tread lightly when discussing Mary Kathleen. Tales of mysterious flickering lights and strange noises erupting from decaying buildings swirl through the air like phantom mist. It is said that those who dare to wander the remnants of this abandoned place encounter not just memories, but the very souls of the miners who toiled amidst the uranium in the 1950s. The mine thrived only briefly before the resources dwindled, leading not only to economic despondency but also to a series of unsettling tragedies. Among them, One chilling narrative recounts the demise of a young miner who vanished within the depths of the mine, rumored to have become one with the very earth he sought to exploit. To this day, visitors report feeling an unshakable presence, a lingering touch in the air, and an overwhelming sense of sorrow that crushes the spirit. Ghostly apparitions in miners' garb reportedly walk the overgrown paths, their hollow eyes searching for closure, their whispers forgotten by a world that moved on too quickly. But heed this solemn warning. The spirits of Mary Kathleen are restless and angry at their untimely end, and those who seek to uncover their secrets may find themselves on a perilous journey astray. The boundary between the living and the dead thins in this forsaken land, and the echoes of the past may entwine with your reality, leaving you forever haunted by the lost souls of Mary Kathleen. Beware, for to enter is to invite the unknown into your very essence. Seven. Gwalia, Western Australia. The eerie winds that whistle through the abandoned streets of Gwalia, Western Australia, carry with them whispers of a time long past, where the gleam of gold could entice fortune seekers to their doom. Nestled in the heart of the arid outback, this ghost town was once a bustling hub of prosperity during the 1890s gold rush, thriving on the wealth of the Great Western Mine. But as the last ounce of gold was extracted, Gwalia slipped into a shadowy silence, leaving behind crumbling buildings and the restless spirits of its former inhabitants. Locals speak in hushed tones of the peculiar occurrences that plague the isolated ruins: flickering lights in the abandoned hotel, phantom footsteps echoing through the decaying mining shafts, and an unsettling sense of being watched by unseen eyes that roam the night. The tragic tale of the Gwalia cemetery escalates this suspicion. It is here that many miners, who succumbed to workplace accidents or illness, lie in unmarked graves, their sorrowful stories buried alongside them. Among these is the notorious David G. Morgan, a miner crushed in a collapse, whose cries reportedly resonate beneath the earth, merging with the winds above. Visitors who dare to linger after dark have recounted encounters with a spectral figure, often described as a flickering silhouette, searching for something lost amidst the rubble. Some swear they hear the echo of a pickaxe striking rock, reverberating unbidden, as if the town itself yearns for the sweat and toil of the living. But heed this warning. Exploring Gwalia is not merely an adventure. It invites the specters of its dark history, lurking in the shadows of the past. Unexplained phenomena could ensnare the adventurous spirit unaware, drawing them into the throes of a tragic, ghostly reality where the line between the living and the dead blurs. Careful, then, is the heart that beats too boldly in the haunting embrace of Gwalia. 8. Hill End, New South Wales. Beneath a canopy of crooked gum trees and brooding clouds, Hill End, once a thriving gold rush settlement, stands as a ghostly echo of its former glory, a place where whispers of the past intertwine with the chill of the present. Nestled in the rugged hills of New South Wales, this deserted town exudes an unsettling aura, captivating the intrepid and unnerving those sensitive to the ethereal. Long before it became a destination for the curious, Hill End was a surge of prosperity for hopeful miners in the 1850s. But beneath the sparkling gold lay a darkness that would haunt the town. Local legends tell of spectral figures wandering the abandoned streets, particularly the forlorn spirit of a woman named Mary, whose tragic fate became entwined with the unsettling history of Hill End. Rumors suggest that she was left behind by a lover who succumbed to the mine's treachery, becoming a permanent inhabitant of the forsaken site. Locals have reported glimpses of her in period clothing, wandering the old buildings, her face oddly illuminated by a spectral glow, her soft sobs carried on the night breeze, blending seamlessly with the rustling leaves. Sightings have proliferated since the town's abandonment, but what truly draws restless spirits here is the sheer number of lives lost to mining accidents, dozens trapped by collapsing tunnels, their cries resonating through the rock, their souls eternally linked to the earth's grip. Today, Hill End's decaying structures stand as remnants of a bygone era, crumbling yet evocative, but entrance these ruins cautiously. Many visitors leave with an unsettling feeling, as if they've stirred the very essence of the past. Be forewarned, the spirits of Hill End seem to watch, waiting for another soul to inhabit the void, warning that some histories are better left undisturbed, lest you find yourself entwined in a tragic narrative without resolution, one where the echoes of sorrow might just claim your presence for their own. Nine. Kookinge, Western Australia. In the heart of the desolate Western Australian outback lies Kookinge, a ghost town that whispers the dark stories of its past through the rustling of its wind-scarred ruins. Once a thriving gold rush settlement in the late 19th century, Kookinge now stands eerily silent, save for the occasional echo of footsteps that were never there. Locals and intrepid travelers alike often speak of an unsettling presence that lingers within the abandoned buildings, as if the spirits of those who toiled and suffered in the unforgiving mines still roam the cracked earth. The town's vibrant history, which saw thousands flock to its streets in search of fortune, is marred by tales of despair, violence, and unfulfilled promises buried beneath the dust. A particular tragedy marks its legacy: the 1901 disaster in which a fire broke out in the Kookinge Hotel, taking with it a myriad of lives and leaving behind an unresolved anguish that seems to saturate the air. Survivors reported seeing ghostly apparitions in white dresses gliding through the deserted halls of buildings, likely the restless souls of those who were never given the closure they deserved. The most chilling accounts come from those attending the annual Kookinge pilgrimage, where visitors have documented strange occurrences, objects inexplicably moving, disembodied whispers, and the feeling of being watched, an overwhelming sensation, as if shadows conspire just beyond one's vision. It is said the spirit of a barmaid, Mary, who perished in that fiery inferno, wanders the ruins, seeking her lost patrons among the forsaken spirits of the town. For those who believe, Kookinge serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of the past and an invitation to heed the warning laid bare by its empty streets. Tread carefully, for in this ghost town, the boundaries between the living and the dead blur with every step. Disrespecting the legacies buried there may awaken fears best left undisturbed. And should you dare to linger too long, you may find that the echoes of Kookinge hold not just memories, but an insatiable hunger for recognition. Burra, South Australia. Deep within the parched landscape of South Australia lies the ghostly shell of the Burra mine, where the winds seem to whisper secrets of despair and lost souls. Once a bustling hub of copper mining, this desolate site echoes with the cries of those who toiled in its depths, transforming the very earth into a tomb where shadows of tragedy linger. Local legends swirl among the jagged ruins. Miners speak of a darkness that settled over the community during the mid-1800s, a time when prosperity rapidly turned into grief. As accidents claimed lives in gruesome ways, cave-ins, drowning in flooded shafts, and the ever-present threat of toxic gases, many believe that the restless spirits of miners still roam the derelict corridors, their anguish imbued in the very walls that encased them for eternity, forever bound to a place that once embodied their hopes and aspirations. The most notorious tale speaks of a miner named Jack, who met a harrowing end after being trapped underground during a catastrophic collapse. Rescuers found him weeks later, his ghostly cries echoing through the tunnels, pleading for release even in death. Those brave enough to explore this haunted site have reported chilling occurrences: the sensation of being watched, disembodied voices echoing throughout the chambers, and the inexplicable coldness that descends even on the hottest of days. But beware, the Burra Burra mine is not just a relic of the past. It is a portal to the spectral realm, a place where curiosity can cost you your sanity. Hidden among the remnants of old machinery and deep within the mine's inky depths, malevolent forces can awaken, preying on the weak-hearted and the unprepared. For those who venture here in search of thrills, remember that the spirits you disturb may not take kindly to your intrusion. Once it grips you in its ghostly embrace, leaving may not be an option. The Burra Burra mine holds secrets that should remain buried, untouched by the living, lest you bring their wrath upon yourself. Ravenswood, Queensland. Nestled among the lush hills of Queensland, the small town of Ravenswood whispers secrets of its tragic past. Its dilapidated buildings shrouded in shadows as the sun dips below the horizon. Once a thriving gold mining hub in the late 19th century, Ravenswood became a ghost town when the gold ran dry, leaving behind remnants of prosperity overshadowed by despair. Locals recount chilling tales of miners who vanished without a trace, their anguished souls forever trapped in the desolate remnants of their labor, a narrative punctuated by the echo of picks against stone and the anguished wails of the lost. The community believes that the restless spirits of the miners still roam the abandoned streets, their faces twisted in anguish, desperately searching for the gold that eluded them in life. Among these legends is the notorious tale of a mining accident in 1924, where a cave-in claimed the lives of a dozen miners. Witnesses say that, on moonless nights, the sound of their muffled cries reverberates through the cobblestone paths, mingling with the cold wind that carries an unsettling chill. Many claim to have encountered spectral figures, their shadows fleeting against the backdrop of derelict buildings, as if forewarning of an impending doom. Moreover, the historically significant Ravenswood Hotel is often cited as a hotspot for paranormal activity, with reports of flickering lights, ghostly apparitions appearing before bewildered guests, and lingering scents of tobacco from the long-gone patrons. As the veil of night descends, Ravenswood becomes a theater of unspeakable terror, inviting the curious yet cautioning them against underestimating the malevolence of its ghosts. Those who dare to linger too long may find themselves entrapped by the very sorrow that haunts the town. Will you heed the warnings and stay away? Or will the allure of Ravenswood's ghostly heritage draw you into its eternal darkness? Adaminaby Old Town, New South Wales. Saiker Iswarani Adichietio. In the heart of New South Wales, Adaminaby Old Town lies shrouded in fog and forgotten whispers, where the air is thick with the weight of its haunted past. Formerly a thriving gold mining town in the 19th century, Adaminaby now rests beneath the waters of Lake Yucumbene, submerged by a dam construction that swallowed its streets, homes, and dark secrets. Residents and visitors alike feel an inexplicable chill in their bones when they traverse the grounds, as if the restless spirits of the lost townsfolk are rising from the depths, searching for their long-forsaken lives. Local rumor suggests that on dark, misty nights, the spectral echo of a child's laughter reverberates through the ancient trees lining the water's edge. Stories tell of a young girl who lived in the town, her family torn apart by tragedy, as a flooding river took them away. Some say her spirit, trapped between realms, haunts the remnants of her home, desperately calling for her mother amidst the rising waters that swept everything away. Analysis reveals that this ghastly energy is not mere folklore. Visitors have reported chilling encounters, such as cold spots and the feeling of being watched. Paranormal investigators have focused on the remaining ruins of the town, capturing electronic voice phenomena and orbs of light darting through the darkness. While searching for answers, researchers discovered local archives filled with grief family letters, newspaper clippings of tragic deaths, and eyewitness accounts of the day the water swallowed Adaminaby. This tragic history frames a tale of heartbreak, lingering in the echoes of time itself. Yet, tread carefully if you are drawn to this haunted locale. Those who dare to explore must confront the reality that the past refuses to remain buried. The legends of Adaminaby Old Town serve as both a beckoning call and a veiled threat. Tread lightly, for the spirits of lost lives may awaken, eager to share their sorrow with the living. Bendoc, Victoria. In the heart of Victoria, Australia, shrouded by dense bushland and rumbling winds, lies the small town of Bendoc, a place where the shadows breathe and secrets seep into the very soil. Locals speak in hushed tones, sharing uneasy stories of disembodied whispers echoing through the night and the fleeting specters of travelers who never found their way back home. Established in the 19th century during the gold rush, Bendoc prospered briefly, only to be eclipsed by tragedy, a ghost town with a lingering sorrow. The most chilling tale involves the infamous Bendoc tragedy, where a group of miners, eager to strike it rich, perished in an unforeseen avalanche while attempting to navigate treacherous mountain trails. Their spirits, reportedly agitated and restless, are said to wander the woods, still searching for their lost dreams and unanswered questions. Numerous witnesses claim to have encountered cold spots in the air, flickering lights among the trees, and ghostly figures emerging at dusk, evoking an undeniable sense of despair and loss. Photography enthusiasts who venture into Bendoc often capture inexplicable shadows dancing in the background of their images, leading to speculation that these spirits still mourn their untimely end. The site of the tragedy remains eerily preserved, inviting the curious to tread where the miners once walked, unknowingly inviting their fates to converge. Yet heed this warning. Bendoc is more than just a spectral playground. It's a burial ground for those who sought what lay beneath the earth. The locals urge caution, for the spirits are not merely wandering. Some say they are guarding something unnameable, something far more terrible than mere dreams. Thus, while the town remains a ghostly echo of vibrant history, it is best to respect the silence that cloaks the landscapes. For in Bendoc, one does not just stumble upon ghosts. They are drawn into their stories, forever intertwined in a dance of life and death. Cape Jervis Station, South Australia. In the shadowy outskirts of Cape Jervis Station in South Australia, a chilling breeze carries whispers of sorrow among the rustling leaves and the creaking timbers of the aging railway structures. This desolate locality, with its inhospitable terrain and rugged coastal cliffs, was once a thriving hub for the nearby whaling trade in the 19th century, but today it is shrouded in a pervasive sense of foreboding. Locals speak in hushed tones of ghostly apparitions and unexplained phenomena, and echoing footsteps often haunt the lonely platforms where the steam trains once roared to life. They recall the grim tale of the wreck of the Nepean in 1857, a maritime disaster that claimed numerous lives when the passenger ship succumbed to treacherous waters. The stories claim that some souls never departed. Eyewitness accounts tell of a spectral figure in tattered clothes appearing near the old station, their mournful gaze fixated on the horizon, as if eternally awaiting a rescue that never arrives. The local lore insists that those who venture too close to the dilapidated building, once the heart of the station might hear the echoes of anguished cries and the faint clang of a bell that was lost to time. Yet, this isn't mere folklore. The fabric of Cape Jervis is steeped in the grief of its sordid past. Paranormal investigators have reportedly captured EVP's electronic voice phenomena resonating with desperate wails, and orbs of light dance on the periphery of vision during the twilight hours. Seemingly conscious and playful, an unsettling unease blankets the air, warning of an invisible weight. The spirits of the departed inhabitants linger, bound by unfulfilled destinies. To those who dare to visit, heed this unheeded counsel. Respect the restless dead, for they guard their secrets jealously. Beware crossing their threshold, lest you find yourself entwined in their lament, seeking a way to escape a regretful eternity among the haunted ruins of Cape Jervis Station. Cassillis, New South Wales. In the heart of New South Wales lies Cassillis, a small town shrouded in mystery and steeped in ghostly folklore that chills the bones and ignites the imagination. This seemingly unassuming locale, set against the backdrop of sweeping plains and distant mountains, holds an unsettling reputation devoid of comfort. Long before it became a ghost town in the 19th century, Cassillis was bustling, primarily serving as a gold mining hub during the Golden Rush. However, as veins of gold dwindled, so too did the population, paving the way for a lingering aura of despair and sorrow. Locals speak in hushed tones about an enigmatic figure who wanders the old streets, the specter of a miner doomed to wander in eternal search of lost prosperity, often seen near the ruins of the old post office, where echoes of laughter and cries of anguish intermingle under the cloak of twilight. The legend tells of a catastrophic mining accident that claimed the lives of more than a dozen men. Their bodies never recovered. It is believed that their restless spirits roam the ghosts of abandoned mines. Desperate for resolution, numerous visitors report disembodied whispers and unexplained cold spots, accompanied by the distant clang of metal tools, like a grim reminder of lives violently extinguished in the name of fortune. Rumors abound regarding sightings of flickering lanterns illuminating the edges of the old graveyard, a stark warning that death is not the end, but a mere passage to something far more sinister. So, if you seek to traverse the forgotten paths of Cassillis, be wary of the weight of its history. The spirits of the lost miners are said to be waiting, watching those who tread upon their sacred ground, beckoning the curious closer with a haunting inevitability. The experience may etch itself into the marrow of your bones, an invitation you may never truly escape. Thanks for joining us on this eerie journey through Australia's top 15 haunted ghost towns. If you enjoyed exploring these spine-chilling locales, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more thrilling adventures. Stay tuned for our next video, where we uncover the most haunted places on Earth that will send shivers down your spine. Until next time, keep your lights on and your eyes open,